An offshore oil rig, a hovering city on the ocean, is a city that never goes to sleep. Looming over fleeting ships, it works quietly around the clock, performing its functions far from the nearest coast. Oil drilling is one of the most renowned methods of extracting valuable energy for utilization. However, operating far at sea on a floating or fixed platform gives a unique set of problems for 50 to 200 men and women who call the offshore platform their home at any given time. In today's video, we will look at life on these faraway shore platforms and look into what upholds the workers going for so many months. Life changes drastically for one who commits to step foot in this industry. Earlier, life on an offshore oil rig was taxing, but there have been notable changes and bettered living conditions. One needs to get outfitted to start work on the rig, thus, safety glasses, hard hats, coveralls, and steel-toed boots are provided on arrival. Frequent safety training is administered before and during employment. Oil rig workers have an 8 to 12-hour shift with breaks for food in the morning, noon, and night. One might have to do night shifts since this industry maneuvers 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. While this may look different, a 2-week work session on the rig will get the workers a holiday of almost 3 weeks. This is supposed to compensate for the arduous physical labor on the offshore platform. And while on board a rig, one needs not be concerned about food, laundry, or accommodation. Rooms with bunk beds are common, as it preserves precious space and promotes a sense of camaraderie with one's coworkers. Also, the rig has chosen smoking zones where safety machines are given to smokers to make sure safety compliance is at all times. Cinema halls, televisions in every room, a fully kitted gymnasium, indoor sports facilities like table tennis, and computers with internet are some advantages one relishes on the rig. A few decades earlier, rig staff could make calls back home only once a fortnight, with the call periods restricted. But with the arrival of superior mobile and broadband technology, oil rigs are fully equipped to present the staff with the numerous comforts of the internet, including uninterrupted and unlimited voice calls and a super-fast Wi-Fi connection. Although the job might seem very enthralling and rewarding, one point to keep in mind is the risk associated with it. The environment in which the rigs work is very antagonistic, as the nature of these operations is adverse disasters and accidents. Highly flammable fluids are extracted out of the earth, some of which is burnt in slack flares to split up poisonous sulfide gas. There is always the possibility of incidental exposure to these chemicals, which can have acute consequences. Hazardous and heavy machinery, like cranes capable of lifting heavy loads, is operated with time. Work is even executed on extreme heights despite weather, blustery or windy climatic conditions. Be it for a worker on the rig or off-rig workers like the paramedics, housekeepers, caterers, etc., life on an oil rig is exhilarating, while it also has a fair share of risks. With newer and safer systems, the risks involved have dramatically lessened. Even so, caution is always suggested, and the best operating practices must be followed. Work shifts on an oil rig are based on your time of advent and state of work at that point. After that, you are allocated a 12-hour shift to work on, and then a 12-hour off period. The exact time can differ since it depends on the work you major in. Since you are on the rig for 2 whole weeks with restricted sources of amusement, the company often puts you to work for longer periods, with sufficient breaks in between. So it may seem plausible that you stay up for nearly 16 hours and then sleep for the remaining 8 hours. While this may surprise many of you as inhumane working hours, remember that any time not spent slumbering on an oil rig is termed working. So, meal times are covered in this period, and assigned relaxation times are intended to enhance staff welfare. To make sure no time is wasted, a roster with an elaborate schedule is formulated for each crew member on board and is strictly followed. Since your day might start at midnight, the oil rig abides by a 24-hour operational system. While it may seem long, the day is filled with breaks designed to give the workers a gap. Furthermore, during work hours, they can take a few minutes to reach out to their families on the shore, engage with colleagues, or make a snack from the ever-full pantry. Despite the difficult lifestyle of a crew member on an oil rig, it is a fulfilling opportunity to be at the forefront of an ever-evolving and complicated industry. Rest assured, a chosen few can only handle these experts' work. In addition to the high salary, there are many perks for workers on an oil rig. The pay is unparalleled, considering they handle state-of-the-art equipment that necessitates prior experience. There is also a chance to work at different locations spanning different regions and continents. For those who enjoy being at sea, this is an outstanding opportunity to witness its beauty firsthand. As work usually progresses for 2 to 3 weeks per shift, they can receive an equal amount of time off once their shift is completed. This means you can catch up with your family once you are off duty. While you may sometimes be needed to report to an office for briefings or team meetings, this time is assigned for you to relax. Furthermore, there is complete family insurance coverage. Lastly, for an adventurer, this would be a dream come true occupation, as it enables you to work in a dynamic field that requires a lot but also remunerates you for your hard work and commitment.